the question is, when can you have multiple messages in a transaction? And the answer is you can almost always have multiple messages in a transaction. That's because Cosmos SDK, if you look at the Finder, and let's just go into like random block, right? So these are all transactions that may have multiple messages. I'm just trying to find one. I think that, so most of the times when you like submit like Oracle messages, right, you batched all those Oracle feeder messages to update the Oracle. So usually you will send like multiple messages in a transaction. So there's another reason why you would want to put multiple messages in a transaction. The reason is, like, you want your transaction to be atomic, and you such that you don't want something to execute when something else has not cleared a condition, or you want to put like a contract function that fails at the end if some other post condition is not met. That ensures that that ensures like atomicity, such that you don't find yourself in some state where you have a transaction where 2 out of 3 of messages have passed, but the third message fails. That won't happen, right? So in a transaction, if any of the messages fail, the whole transaction is reverted, right? So that kind of gives you a guarantee of atomicity. So here I'm just gonna like build off my previous example. So let's do something like provide liquidity. Right. So I have my previous example right here where I have a swap message, right? This does the swap. Let me just copy this. Let me just into this part right here. And I'm just going to reuse this code as well. Okay. So instead of a swap message, let's just do provide liquidity. Liquidity. Right. So I need to provide both UST and MIR. All right. Okay. So actually, I don't need to see. Okay. So I need to put assets and slippage tolerance. Okay. Sorry. Right. So let me just put this here. Put this here. Okay. Provide liquidity. So provide liquidity. Assets. It's going to be an array of infos. So I have info number 1, which is contract address is mirror. Is that right? Yes. Okay. All right. And then I need the amount I want to add. I think I have some mirror. I'm just gonna do this amount. So what I'm doing will probably like give free money, but because like I'm not making sure that they're exactly equal in value. Right. Info. Okay, so I have a native token and the denom USD. Okay. And all right, let's do amount. All right, let's try this. Okay. All right, so Okay, provide liquidity message. Okay, so provide liquidity message. Okay, so I need to give this amount in USD. Right. So what I'm going to do right now probably will fail because, right, I'm not giving the contract. I'm not giving the amount in MIR. Right. So as you can see, you need to increase the allowance, right? You need to give this contract allowance into your MIR balance before, so that this contract is able to pull MIR from your balance. As you can see, I will broadcast this, but this will likely fail. As you can see, no allowance for this account. The MIR pair is trying to draw from my account or send a message with taking from my MIR balance, right? So this is because I haven't given allowance yet. So let me increase the allowance, right? So first I need to execute a message on the MIR token. So another message execute contract before this provide liquidity message, right? And I'm going to call on the MIR contract, and I need to create an increase allowance message. Increase allowance. Okay. So this is going to allow you to increase the allowance. All right. Okay. So increase allowance. Spender is going to be the MIR pair. And amount, let's say, interesting. Amount is a number. Well, let's try this out. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a string or a number, but let's say I'm gonna put this amount. Okay, so I'm gonna increase the and expires never. Okay, so I have an increase allowance message. Okay, so let's try this out. Increase allowance message. Okay, so needs more gas. Okay, see, now I put two messages in one transaction very easily by just, there's a reason why the messages argument is an array, right? Because so we can allow for multiple messages. Multiple messages is the de facto, like it's what is expected, right? You don't always need to provide just one. And this is very important because sometimes, for example, contracts in how Cosmos and CosmWasm works is if you want a contract to call other contract code, that contract appends messages into the same transaction, right? Such that you can so you can be sure that if any stage of the contract's further executions, right? Let's say that you call the anchor, like pylon contract, and the pylon contract calls the anchor contract, and something goes wrong, you don't get left in a undeterminate state. For certain that the contract will, like, either all the messages will go through or the whole transaction will be reverted. So yeah, that's basically how you can do it, and how in practice it's actually required. For example, increased allowance and providing liquidity is usually batched in one transaction if you use TerraSwap or Mirror. Actually, I can perhaps show you. Okay. Right. All right, so I'm going to pull mirror, and do I have any mirror? Oh, I have 0 mirror. Okay, I can't show you, but okay, let's say I buy some mirror. Right. Just gonna buy some mirror. As you can see, I'm very poor. Okay, so I'm gonna provide some mirror, and I can provide 1.5. Okay, if you can see, there actually is 2, right? There is an increased allowance, and there is a provide liquidity, like I did. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think that should cover the, like, I think that covers in sufficient depth the questions that were given today.